A very good morning, class 11th. So, yesterday we start with our new lecture, new chapter, that is chapter number 4, and that is Animal Kingdom, right? And we started with the basic introduction of that chapter, that what are the parameters on the basis of which you can classify the organisms or different animals. And we talked about level of organization, then symmetry, then embryonic layers and coelom, metamerization. So another parameter which is important, also another feature, that is the notochord. As you know that notochord, or which for in further in the higher group, it is finally developed into the spinal cord. So notochord is mesodermal in origin, and it is a rod shaped structure. If you look at the location, then it is a rod shaped structure which is formed on the dorsal side. Dorsal, we know, that is the back side during the embryonic development, but you have to be very very particular about its origin, because these small points, they are important for your objective questions. So notochord is mesodermally derived, and animals, those organisms or those animals which are having this structure, notochord, they are called chordates. They are known as chordates. But those animals which are not having this rod like structure on their dorsal side, they are called non chordates. And who are non chordates? All the group phylum from porifera to hemichordates, means it includes your annelids, it includes your ctenophora, cnidarian, platyhelminthes, aschelminthes. All these animals from porifera to hemichordates, they are known as non-chordates. So this is another feature. This was the another feature to describe, to define, or to keep the animals into different categories. Now that is a basic flow chart I have prepared so that you can get a picture that how the classification of animals is done. The major kingdom we are here in this chapter we are talking about is the animals, right? Animalia, which are multicellular in nature. And if we talk about, yesterday we talked about level of organization, which is majorly of either at the cellular level, or you can find the organisms at the that is the tissue, organ, or organ system level. Cellular level of organization animals, they are included in the group porifera. Very simple first group, that is the sponges one. That is the first group we are going to phylum, first phylum which we will take into consideration. Then because tissue or organ or organ system level of organization, they are now divided on the basis of symmetry, that which animals have which kind of symmetry. Radial symmetry, those which can be cut into two equal halves, coelenterata, ctenophora. These two groups, they have radial symmetry, coelenterata and ctenophora. Then others, they are having bilateral symmetry. Now from even the bilateral symmetry, we divided them on the basis of body cavity. Like we discussed that few animals, they are without body cavity, like platyhelminthes. Then false body cavity, aschelminthes. Then true body cavity groups, annelida, arthropoda, mollusca, echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordata. These all phylum, they are having true cavity. And I will request you that please make this flow chart on a separate sheet and paste it on your room's door. It is going to help you to understand this chapter in a better form. Because if you are not clear that which phylum is having which characteristic, like porifera is the very basic phylum which has cellular level of organization. Radial symmetry is observed in coelenterata and ctenophora. Then the most advanced ones in which are having true cavity, they are annelids, they are arthropods, mollusca, echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordata. So please go through this classification so that you can get clear idea about the whole idea about the chapter. So first I am taking today, that is the Porifera. Now members of this phylum Porifera, as you can just see the name, they are having pores. These include those organisms, this phylum include those organisms or animals with the porous body. They are having pores, and members of this phylum, they are known as sponges. Sponges, it is, this phylum is known by the name of sponges. So many of us, we know the name sponges, but we don't know that to which phylum it belongs. Sponges belong to a very basic phylum, that is the first phylum of animal kingdom, that is your Porifera. These animals, they are having porous body, they are having pores, and usually, generally, maximum of the members of this phylum, they are marine. Few, or I will say one exception, which is find you can found in fresh water, that is the Spongilla. So Spongilla exceptions तो हमेशा पेपर में आना ही है. So Spongilla is the exception which in the Porifera group, which is found in fresh water. All other are marine. From the chart we are clear that they are having cellular level of organization. And one more thing which is clear, that is they are asymmetrical, right? Diploblastic means body develops from ectoderm and endoderm. They show cell aggregate body plans, means cellular level of organization है, तो cells they are combined in the masses, right? A cell aggregate body plan is observed. Now when we draw this, the structure of this Porifera, it shows a flask shaped structure, right? And one basic way to draw it is, you can draw it like this, and then you can do it like this. Now what you can do, you can just remove the middle part, right? You can remove these small erase this part and can turn into pores like this. Okay, so it is the easiest way to draw the structure of these Porifera. So this now after drawing this, now these pores or tiny pores which you are able to observe, these pores, they are known as ostia, and these are the inlets. Through these inlets the water enters into the body. Now the upper portion, this major big pore, that is known as osculum. Osculum is the outlet through which water goes out, right? This is the outlet. Now in between there is a space, and this space is known as cavity, and cavity in sponges is known as spongocoel. It is a common space for food and the gaseous exchange, right? So what is the major structure you have, what are the major things which you have observed in the structure? Inlet, that is the ostia, outlet which is osculum, and cavity which is known as spongocoel. Now sponges have a major characteristic system that is called canal system or water transport system, because mostly they are marine, so they have canal system, and water canals, they are lined with these collar cells which are also known as choanocytes. Or the water transport system or water canals, they are covered with these collar cells. This is the one of the very important feature of sponges, right? Body is supported by skeleton, or you can say endoskeleton, which is made up of two major things. One is spicules. Spicules, they are needle like structure, pointed needle like structure, very sharp, and they are made up of calcium carbonate and silicic acid, which is known as calcium carbonate spicules. They are known as calcareous spicules, and silicic acid known as siliceous spicules. So spicules जो होते हैं, they are very sharp, they are very needle like structures, and they are made up of calcium carbonate and silicic acid. जो fibers हैं, they are thread like structures, and they are made up of a protein which is known as spongin protein. Animals are hermaphrodite, means both male and female sex organs, they are present together. So reproduction, if we talk about, it can be observed. Asexual reproduction is also observed, and sexual reproduction is also observed. Asexual reproduction is by budding. Buds, they which are observed here in this group, they can be grow exogenously and endogenously. Exogenously means bud is growing or formed outside the body, which is usually common. Outside the body means bud is formed here. Here the buds, they are observed. But in endogenously, bud is formed inside, and they are known as gemmules. These, as you can see, these red colored buds here, these are known as gemmules. These are the endogenous bud which are present inside the body of sponges. And there are multiple buds, not only one or two, many buds or gemmules, they are formed, and once they are fully formed, they release through the osculum, which is the outlet, right, which is the exit point in the sponges. Inlet is known as your ostia, and outlet is known as osculum. Cavity is known as spongocoel. Sexual reproduction, because sponges are hermaphrodite, they have both sex organs. Protogynous condition is observed in the sponges. Protogynous is a condition in which female gametes, they mature first, and then male gametes, they are matured after female gametes or little later. This kind of condition is known as protogynous, and it is observed in sponges. Fertilization is internal and development is indirect. Indirect means directly adult stage is not there. They have an intermediate stage, that is the larval stage, which is very distinct from the adult stage. So that kind of development in which larval stage is observed, that is called indirect development. Very common example, spongilla, तो we already talked about in this is a freshwater porifera, right? This is a freshwater sponge. And cycon, then euspongia, which is known as bath sponge also. So these are the few examples of this group, that is the porifera. One of the major thing you need to understand, that is the spongilla, freshwater exception. Then there are the few points about the structure. Ostia is the inlet, osculum is the outlet, spongocoel is the cavity. One major characteristic feature is observed here, that is canal system, which are covered with the collar like cells, choanocytes. Then they have spongin fibers and spicules. Reproduction, it is Fertilization is internal and development is indirect. Example, Spongilla, Cycon, Euspongia. So this is all about our first group, first phylum, that is Porifera, and which is also known as sponges. The next group which we will take on Monday, that will be your Cnidaria, right, or which is also called as the Coelenterata.